Okay, so. Okay, after the usual morning spit up. Okay, so welcome to the first official video on this channel. I'm going to show you how to load a 2-year-old into a Riften stander, and it's the Riften stander that you load them on their belly. And full disclosure, I am not a medical professional. I'm not an expert on this stander. I'm just a regular guy who has figured out how to use it. I'm gonna show you how I load my child and how to adjust it and things like that. Pretty simple, but if it's your first time doing the stander, it can be kind of stressful because for my son, he has a spit up issue and he didn't do the best on his belly at the start. He does a lot better now, but at the beginning, putting him on his belly was like kind of sketchy at the start. So I'm gonna show you how to basically, hopefully smoothly load a 2-year-old into it. Like I said, I'm just a regular dude who has taken instruction from a certified therapist who knows exactly how to use this. And I highly recommend being under the supervision of a professional if it is your first time loading your child into it, which you probably will be, unless you paid for one of these things on your own, which without insurance, they are very expensive. First things first, if you're loading a child into this, I'm assuming, I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming you probably have AFOs, which are just like ankle braces, ankle braces for kids, and then you have to have shoes on over top of those. So we'll go ahead and get his braces on. So these are the AFOs. I mean, they have 3 straps, and it's just to keep because a lot of times kids like to point their toes, and they want to have them, angled the correct position because he's obviously not walking. You can go online, I think it's just billy.com, and they have a zipper. Really? They have a zipper on the side, and you just unzip them and it opens up. We had to take the insole out because the AFOs fit. They basically take up the whole inside, but super cool. Billy shoes is what they are. They're kind of pricey for a kid shoe, but I mean, if it's what they need, it's what they need, right? And if you can, get long socks for them too. Long socks just to help prevent, rubbage on their skin, because Emmett here has super sensitive skin. You always want to make sure, because Emmett here likes to curl his toes, so we have to get our fingers under this little lip and pull his toes out because he likes to curl them. We're gonna make sure their foot is as flat as possible in the AFOs. This is definitely one of those things that they just have to get used to, because at first Emmett just did not like wearing these, but over time now he's just like whatever. He don't even care. Part of the day. And that's them on. You don't want them too tight to where, it causes discomfort and they're just like crying the whole time that they have them on. We want them tight enough to where if they press down on their tippy toes, they can't scoot their foot like back into it and then up. Because he used to do that when he first got these on, and he would actually press so hard on his tippy toes that his heel would be out of place and it wouldn't be, all the way up against the bottom. He would push up. So something to keep in mind. He doesn't do that anymore, but he used to do that on the regular. So now that we have the AFOs on, we can go. What I like to do is kind of warm him up, because like I said, he has a spit up issue, so I like to sit him upright first and kind of get him situated to being upright. And I do that in what is called an activity stroller. So it's basically like a very complicated stroller, which I will have a video on that, maybe my next video, but I will have a video on that in the future about how to set that up. But I set him in that just to get him upright, situated, adjusted to being upright, and then once I know he's good, clear, good to go, then I'll start loading him into the stander. But I'll show you what I do while I have him in his chair. Second disclaimer, if you see me grab a rag and swat like crazy, there's a fly in here and it's driving me crazy. So while he's chilling, I'm gonna check the stander. This fly is gonna drive me absolutely crazy. What we do, definitely have burp cloths down and actually put a pillow on this so that when you start him on his belly, he has something to rest his head on, because otherwise he would dip down really far. So I'll go ahead and show you everything on it. Basically, what you've got is, you got the headboard here, which is adjustable underneath by this plate right here. And all you do is unscrew or tighten this to adjust it. Now, you always want to have your hand on the headboard while you're doing this, because it will just drop if you don't. And how you adjust the whole stander, which is, you can see the angle of it right here, just this. And that will bring him up. And I like to start them pretty dang close to all the way flat. Don't really have to, but that's what I like to do. And probably would be recommended by most therapists. You got your butt pad here. It slides in right here. After he's loaded, put that on, and then you tighten it with a little knob back here. See that? Tighten that knob to tighten that thing down so it's in place. Go ahead and remove that for now because he's not gonna need that going in. Got your foot pads here. These are adjustable by another knob underneath, and you basically loosen, tighten that until you have his, basically you don't want his groin all the way up against this. You want a little bit of room. Basically what I was shown when we first got him into it was when he's all the way upright, his armpits should not be resting on the top pad, with this pad right here. His armpits should not be all the way in that. He should have just a little bit of room above that. That's where, once you get his arms adjusted there, then make the adjustments to the foot pad, to this foot pad right here. But you got straps for the foot pad, you got side supports so he can't, are basically for if he's getting lazy and starts to, you know, kind of tilt one way or the other, kind of prevents too much tiltage, I guess, from going on. So he stays straight up, you know what I mean? And then other than that, you got 2 buckles. They go right behind the back, and that's pretty much it. So that's the stander. He's getting tired of sitting, so let's get the show on the road. Put his feet in here first. All that while being very cautious of his G-tube because he has a G-tube. Look at this child, he's just trying to get up and go now. First things first, I'm just gonna go ahead and tighten down his feet. Make sure that he can't go anywhere and his feet are totally seated in the little slots here and straight. Once that's good, I'm just gonna give him a look over, make sure his G-tube's not out, make sure he's straight and in line. After that, you get your butt down. Then you gotta put the butt pad on, which is right here, and just have it, you don't want it too loose. I would just say like, once it touches his butt, maybe just a little bit of pressure and tighten it down. Make sure that's good. After that, bottom buckle. Now that you just want seated up against him, not tight whatsoever. Just seated up against his back. And then same thing with the top one. All right, now he's good to go. Now we're good to start adjusting him up. You're just getting up on your own, aren't you? The way I do it is I start cranking him because he's already obviously trying to get up on his own. And as this is going, I try to make this pretty quick because he'll start holding his own head up like that. And he's already got it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and lower this to about, just so it's flat for him. And I do bring it all the way up to a 90. Yeah, look at you, you're standing all by yourself. There it is. And this needs to come down just a hair, and then that's it. I can take the pillow away until we're done. Leave that up there, and then I'll go ahead and basically just bring him some toys. He is all good now. And here's what I said about the armpits. See how it's just under his armpits? So he's not resting on his arm. So his armpits aren't resting on it. He has a little bit of room. Yeah! We try to do about 20 minutes a time. Obviously the longer the better, but he tolerates about 20 minutes. You want some toys? And just keep them occupied until their time's up or until they're completely over it. But that's it. That's how you set him up in a Riften stander. He is pretty straight. But that's how you load a 2-year-old into a Riften stander that loads from the front. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. If you've never used one of those kinds of, if you've never used this kind of equipment, I mean, it can be kind of like hectic, especially if your kid's not really tolerating it very well. But it's just something that they gotta get used to. It was pretty rough at the start with him. But now, as you saw, he's pretty content with it. He knows what's going on. He knows just another day going in the stander. I'm gonna continue let him enjoy himself in his stander for the next 20 or so minutes. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up so more people can see this type of content, and I know that this is the type of content I should be creating. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. I'll have more videos coming in the future. Appreciate all the support from everybody, and I'll see you in the next video.